During the Cold War, tens of thousands of Americans served their country by working at facilities that supported the Manhattan Project and other nuclear weapons technologies. Over the years, medical evidence has revealed that these facilities were producing radiation and other poisonous materials that cause cancer in many of these facilities' workers. The attorneys at Markovits, Stock, and DeMarco represented the Fernald nuclear weapons facility workers and the facility's nearby residents in several landmark lawsuits involving the U.S. Department of Energy. These efforts resulted in nearly $100 million in settlements and comprehensive medical monitoring programs for both residents and workers. What follows is a brief history of the Fernald litigation from the perspective of the attorneys who were in the trenches.
They were working with nuclear materials, but the government and their employer treated it as if they were making talcum powder. There was uranium dust everywhere. They couldn't get away from it. It was all over their clothes. They took it home with them. And you know, our theory was that they also infected their families that way.
At Fernald, there were no glove boxes. So the workers who worked at Fernald were exposed to radioactive materials and other chemicals with basically no protection.
The entire plant, 1,000-some acres, was contaminated with radiation. It was so bad that when we went in the early 1990s to review documents that had been kept on site, they called afterward and told us that the documents we reviewed were radioactive.
I've been involved with Fernald litigation since 1987, when we first began with the residence case, and then in 1989, perhaps it was January of 1990, we filed the workers' case.
The whole class action was to get them compensation for the exposure to radiation that they had absorbed during their work at the plant, and also to get them medical monitoring for the rest of their lives, and that's what we achieved.
The Fernald lawsuits played a key role in Congress passing the Energy Employees Illness Compensation Program, or the EEOI-CPA, which established a fund to compensate injured workers and their loved ones. As of December 2013, the EEOI-CPA has paid out over $10 billion to these workers and their families. In 2013, this fund was expanded for many nuclear weapons facility workers, including those at Fernald.
Now, the government has indicated that if you worked at Fernald basically at any time between, I believe, 1953 and 1985, that you are, and you develop one of 22 radiogenic cancers, that if you can show that you worked there for a minimum of 250 days and you can show that you have the cancer, then you will receive your compensation.
I think one of the lessons of this is that in the end, through a lot of people's efforts, including ours, Fernald workers have access to justice that they've never had before, access to compensation they've never had before, and it's incumbent on them to act immediately to secure it.
If you, your spouse, or your parent became ill after working at a nuclear weapons facility, you may be entitled to compensation from the EEOI-CPA fund, even if that worker died years ago. To find out if you or a loved one is eligible, please visit us at www.coldwarcancerfund.com or call us at 513-651-3700.